Live from the video game journalist retirement home, it's Super Gamekast. Now here's your host, Bronson Fiore.
What up, everybody? It is April 30th, 2023. Oh, Jesus, my brain just fizzled out there. Hi, I'm Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
Oh, I'm fizzled out in my own way, let me tell you.
Hey, Black Catter, what's up?
Yo!
And then we have the lovely mod mommy, Emily Hulslander.
Yep.
And then HR Ninja. You never see the HR violation coming.
Okay, wait a minute.
Just review it.
That's right. Hello.
The HR Ninja's doing the violation now?
He's issuing the citation for the violation.
Oh, okay.
I know the best way to do violations.
Exactly.
He knows how to get around it.
You know how to get through it. Damn.
Oh boy.
I hope you don't mind if I do not follow in your footsteps. Hi everyone.
Hi. You can tell we are all burnt this week.
Ooh, it's been a week. You know, between just life and then also the video game news this week was something actually.
Savage.
Yeah.
So freaking savage. Like, oh my god.
Man.
And it's springtime, so my allergies are deciding to be savage to me.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep. So it's all
but
good.
hey, you know what? We're here. We're doing good. We're gonna brighten your Sunday morning / early afternoon.
Damn right.
That's right.
And by brighten, I mean tell you all the horrible things that are happening in video games. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about this one. We've talked about it a couple times, but this sparked such conversation on the internet and specifically Twitter.
Yes. Super Bunny Hop in particular was laying down some hard truths about game journalism.
Really? I missed that.
Just, hey man, this shit is not sustainable because money.
Yep.
Unless you're just one dude doing it out of your bedroom.
Yep. Yep.
So
pretty much.
You know, hence why we're 4 dudes doing it out of our bedrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Right.
So yeah.
But Waypoint.
Yep. So first news story is very well-respected, well-loved gaming journalist institution Waypoint is dead. They're closing up shop June 2nd, and basically Vice is like, nah, money, you don't make it.
Which is really funny because I listened to their podcast announcing it. They recorded it right after they were told they were getting fired. And it was just like between that and a lot of the tweets from people who have been at Vice or around Vice, it's just like the people who are responsible for mismanaging this are the people that are going to stay. And it's the people who came saying, hey, we have a subscription service, we have a steady income it's not going to increase exponentially, but it will keep the lights on. We can be self-sufficient in our little corner of Vice. They're the ones that are going to go.
Yeah, well, this goes back to the point that, whenever we're talking about anything in, like, the game industry on the money side, if you cannot grow constantly in big ways, they don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They
Numbers
don't care.
must go up.
Number must go up. More meat
every week
for the grinder.
Yeah.
No, like it's just so frustrating because these dudes made great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not only did they make great stuff, it was great written stuff. Like, it was well thought out and interesting and just
Well, so to just provide a little bit of background for us, Gamecraft started as a almost purely written. You guys started a podcast pretty soon after we started, but it was mostly almost entirely written content about reviewing video games. That was just reviewing.
Yeah, I was reviewing, and then we did a couple of features and stuff like that. But if number no grow, you go. But if you knew, just wait, because it'll happen to you.
Yeah, and but video game criticism would go to interesting places in the hands of good writers that found their ways into these bigger websites during that time when that was what was expected, right?
Right, but everything transitioned to video, and there was a lot more money in video because I very distinctly remember at the Gamer Access in I want to say it was 2014. It might have been 2013. It was a little bit before, a little bit after you left, when we had this conversation of we really need to focus on video a lot more. We really need to produce shows.
Yeah.
And it was okay, sure, we can do that. Why not? And just over time, I went from being an editor to being a producer.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it ended up coming. I still wrote reviews, but you look at the traffic of the written stuff compared to the video stuff, it's 10x.
Yeah.
No one wants to read.
Yep.
Fucking no one wants to read. No one cares.
It's kind of nuts. I want to come back to that, but I'm thinking back to Giant Bomb, which was a website that was always a couple years ahead of the curve. They were doing subscription models before any of that really started picking up. But they did the video reviews for a decent chunk of time, but it was it was still written in that same. They kind of wrote the script as if it was a written review, and then got in front of a camera and did their thing. And I felt like they held on to that for a decent chunk of time.
It was 2013, I think that's when that stopped.
Because Justin TV was starting to pick up. Eventually Twitch, a couple other services I've forgotten in that time, but that was when things started to be okay. Some established video game content creators on YouTube were really starting to make their own place, and things really changed in how people wanted to learn about a video game. When it got to the point where you can go on a website and there are thousands of people playing the video game right now, and you can not only see, does it look good, but you can actually ask them in real time, hey, do you like this? And it's so much more convenient than any really review.
It's a lot more convenient, and then on top of that, my issue with that always was though is that person can be at any point in that game. They haven't finished it.
Yep.
This is the double-edged sword of the thing we always tell people is find someone with similar taste to yours and then follow them.
Yeah.
Is you don't know if that person has tastes that match yours or not. You found the stream.
Which is why you gotta find those people that gel with you.
Right. And then it also creates an echo chamber of confirmation bias.
Well,
but that's its own animal.
But that ties back into this problem, which is I think there's an air of people aren't really interested in solid, no holds barred criticism of a game.
I think they are, just they don't care about it enough to, because there are people who do those 45-minute, hour-long video essays.
Yes.
And they do pretty good.
That's what's left of the written review is the video essayist. That's what's left.
Yeah, you look at Super Bunny Hop, and he's getting 100K on his Bayonetta video, 150K on the history of mergers and buyouts. The problem though is, well, those aren't good enough numbers combined with a Patreon for a normal person to live. They're not enough for a corporation.
Sure.
You would, And that, I think that's proven by like all the cuts that happen over a Giant Bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and let's see. Why do I feel like this would all just lead back to the age-old argument of playthroughs take away from the game industry?
I
I
wouldn't
don't think
say
they
so.
do.
No.
Like, I remember back when Let's Plays were starting to get big, like around 2013, 2014. And like publishers were being like, why would you play the game if you just watch the whole game? It's just like, because I want to see what it's like so I know if I can buy it.
The video game. Like the reason I love the video game is that it's interactive. I can mess around in it.
You get to play them.
I get to play the video game. That's why I play the video game.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't. So, you know, like, yeah. But yeah, and then Waypoint was doing like these really big features pieces, and yeah, like those were really interesting. But it also goes back to the point of like no one wants to read.
Because there is certainly a group of people that is interested in this information. I wonder if people are only into this information if you get a really big, or at least really dedicated video editing team, and you do some H-Bomber Guy-esque 2-hour-long video essays about Police Quest. Like, I would watch it, but shit, man, that's a whole lot more work than what already took to make that written piece.
Right, like, okay, so like, you know, Patrick did an article on the 13th, Patrick Klepek of Waypoint. Watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie with my 6-year-old was surprisingly emotional. You know, and like, you know, he did a really good written piece on this. But it's like, okay, you turn that into a video, you have to go through the script, you have to go through multiple people in the script, you have to edit it, and like that, you know, the amount, you know, it's the whole time X money thing just doesn't work out in corporate's favor in that instance.
Yeah,
you know?
no, again, this goes back to, if you want this kind of content, like, no corporation wants it. And frankly, like, this move of getting rid of Waypoint is basically just telling everyone, like, hey, you know, honestly, we're gonna get AI to the point where they can just rattle out the news as we need it to be read. We don't need these game writers anymore. So if you want this kind of content, you got to hope that these guys go to Substack or Patreon, and you have to go search them out yourself to find that stuff, which sucks. But
yeah, well, like Ray Civic, another big video editing channel or video essay channel, and yeah, 646K on his latest video. I love racing games; they suck.
how
Look
long
at
is
like. Go ahead, Branson.
Oh no, that was it. That was
I asked how long is that video?
36 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Look at Action Button, who
Action Button
has 140,000 subscribers, right? He's got a 6-hour long review of Boku no Natsuyasumi, which is a Japanese-only game.
Yep.
Almost 1 million views, 922,000 views. He's got a review of Tokimeki Memorial, which is a Super Nintendo dating sim, 6 hours long, 1.3 million views. He's got a review of Doom, 330, 1.8 million views.
Well, okay, so here's a key question: how much time between those uploads?
Oh God, years. Like
exactly.
Like like he does like one a year.
So yeah, like so in his first year he made 5 videos, and then since he has done 1 video a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, you know, like it's obviously not the main focus of his career or how he lives. And
no, he's got his own game studio.
Yeah.
So
so even then, you gotta supplement with other income.
And I remember Jeff on the podcast, on his podcast, Jeff Gerstmann, was it a couple weeks ago, talking about how, like, any time at one of those big corporations they want to try something ambitious like that, if it didn't immediately, like, pop off, corporate would be like, all right, cool, we're killing this because the, you know, 1 hour quick look, you know, like, is infinitely more popular and makes way more money.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're done. So
yeah.
And that would just happen, which is why those guys had to go make Nextlander and the Jeff Gerstmann show, because anytime that you want to do something that requires, you know, like production value in that way, or, you know, the written word in that way, the money men are like, no.
Well, what's funny about that too is those guys gave up on that content pretty much, and they just play video games now. And then Jeff's like, we'll just go off the cuff and talk deep on some stuff. So that's super valuable. But no one's doing none of them are doing the hard work of good written work.
Yeah, yeah. And then another point that was brought up is like, I just don't think there's a big enough audience to make it exist anymore and make it like profitable.
People that want to sit down and actually read this long form article on this niche subject and pay, you know, what, like $5 a month for it or something like that. How big is that audience really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are
probably not very, is my guess.
We are, the next generation is on TikTok, and like one of the things I heard is people like use TikTok like just to search for information about anything, which to my mind is like, that seems like such an inefficient way to search for information, because I grew up with like written word. All right, I know how these articles are written. I can skip to where I need to go. I can go back and take a look at this, and but that's just not how the metrics are moving now.
Yeah, and it's not how people are, you know, wanting to invest their time. Like, they don't want to spend 15 minutes reading an article about anything, even a really good opinion piece, when they can get the same thing in a 1 to 3 minute TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, same thing, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. The general idea.
And that's the thing, is it's also not quite like, people don't seem to want. There aren't enough people that are interested in that kind of in-depth look at video games, unless it's an entertaining and well edited, you know, long form video
or a podcast. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Like those are the, and that's a bummer. Like, that's super shitty.
Yeah.
But that's the way things moved, unfortunately.
And there is a concern among games writers, and this is definitely a like potential shaking fist at cloud thing. But like, this is an old generation of writers from an age long past now that are like, so people are going to be getting their gaming opinions from influencers who are already bought in on these games, who pre-ordered, who have invested themselves in these franchises, and thus will not look at them critically, or, you know, game companies will just give them the game and, you know, bought off completely because it's
but those
we already do that.
Yeah,
those are valid opinions, though. Like, those
I think they are valid.
Like, because look, unless it does just totally blow chunks, if a Resident Evil game comes out and Max plays, he's probably gonna like it.
Yeah.
Like, as an example, like, which is why it was always valuable for these companies and these critics to exist.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where it's like, all that's left is like IGN and GameSpot, and even then, they're like written articles mostly are fluff. Every now and then GameSpot will get a good one. Like, they actually put one out fairly recently called Before I Knew New York, I Knew Liberty City, a retrospective on GTA 4's setting.
Ah, that sounds nice.
You know, like, yeah, like every now and then you'll get a GameSpot, you know, still doing some good stuff, but for the most part, like, Waypoint was one of the last big, you know, high profile ones, and they're gone. Joystick's gone. 1UP's gone. Like, just, yeah.
And they're running into a question right now. Like, Giant Bomb did not have this problem because they were very much a personality driven website. But Waypoint on that last podcast is like, could we try and do this on our own with the Patreon or not? I don't know. You have to put a lot of faith that people are going to follow you over there and support you. Which, even the Giant Bomb guys were taken aback by how much support they got. So,
yeah, and then the Escapist still kind of around, but they've shifted a lot of stuff over to video.
yeah.
But they still do have columns. It's a weird mix, and I feel that the Escapist is alive because of zero punctuation.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jimquisition still on there?
No, that dude went independent a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I have not been on the Escapist in so long.
yeah, like the Jimquisition. God, when did that? Like, when did they go? When did they go independent? Yeah, I don't know. It's
been a while. All this stuff. This has been happening. This has been a long time coming. But the big like question that came about is like, what does this say about like people who play video games, like just not interested in that level of criticism or that kind of in-depth look unless it's super entertaining as well.
I mean, I think that's in general though. You don't see a lot of just sites that are like, oh, movie criticism.
You don't?
Like, not ones that aren't folded into bigger things, like, like you go on Rotten Tomatoes and it's like a lot of these are not just movie specific. A lot of these are like, let's pull up the Mario movie reviews. Okay, the critics. No, I don't want to disable my ad blocker. ABC News, Chicago Reader, The Observer, Ramble On.
This goes into a different point though, which is, damn, we're like all these places are going to have movie reviewers still, and they're still doing their movie reviewer thing. Why is it games? Why is games getting cut down?
I think because at least from what I've seen, the game critic scene is a lot bigger on YouTube and whatnot.
Oh, I think it's largely due to the part that people who play games are more technologically savvy than people who don't play games, so they get their media from the internet, whereas people like movies appeal to a wider audience, right? And so
yeah, that's true.
A lot of people in that audience aren't going to be as technologically savvy and aren't going to go online to find their stuff.
Technologically savvy people, for example, know how to use an ad block.
Yes.
They know how to get your article without having to go to your site that's like paywalled.
Yep.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
I think that's part of it as well. I think that this is super sad.
Mm-hmm.
What's even worse is Kotaku is still alive.
Kotaku is still going. Because they have mastered the one of the things that we hate about the internet,
yes,
but is
have.
necessary
yes.
to survive.
Clickbait.
You need that clickbait shit, man.
Real quick, I sent this to Anthony when I found out this Waypoint thing was going on. It was what Bunny Hop posted. A lot of people complain about games journalism isn't better, but Waypoint and Joystick were two of the best, and enough people just didn't read them. His response was, "It's the most frustrating paradox of journalism. High quality, good, objective reporting from trained professionals will almost always need to look dry and boring compared to entertainment. The most famous journalism stories in history were usually subsidized by other products. Ever notice how your local Fox-affiliated TV news channel has way more reasonable, neutral, higher standards than cable TV version of the news? That is why." So, that's something to consider. Apparently, video game journalism as a whole just doesn't have the 07 rip Waypoint. But yeah, apparently game journalism just doesn't have something that can subsidize it along while they do good reporting. Maybe that's another thing to consider.
Yeah. The question is, I think these guys, if they tried to pull off a Patreon or a Substack, I think they could get enough. But yeah, it's hard. They were talking about how like it's hard enough trying to get health insurance trying to like manage all of that while also running your own business through a Patreon or Substack.
Well, yeah, you and I have done the numbers on like paying for your own health insurance if we were to go full time into this, and it was like $500 a month.
It was nuts. Nuts.
Shit's expensive.
It's private health insurance is unbelievably expensive. So, yep.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of game journalism dumpster fires, Kotaku.
Hey, they're in business.
They are the masters of clickbait.
Certainly are.
They are the masters of clickbait, sir. In a big, big way. But one of their lovely editors posted, it's preview day for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a huge game I would love for Kotaku to be able to inform its millions of readers about firsthand. Unfortunately, Nintendo has it blacklisted from advanced coverage, a move I would argue is both unprofessional and coercive.
Interesting take.
Yeah. Dear God. Man. Oh. Just.
So, yeah. One thing I wanted to point out just in that last story that somewhat ties in, it just made me think of that is how like video games don't get sent to people who review quite early enough, or sometimes there'll be a patch like, hey, this game's broken in a certain way, it'll be fixed, but it'll be fixed, you know, after your review goes out. Like, good luck. And like TV shows have been doing that too, of like, hey, we'll send you some stuff early, but it's not going to be finished, and you're gonna have to get your review out before you finish the show. Good fucking luck. Yeah, reviews are getting screwed in a number of ways.
Oh yeah, because the companies know that plays in their favor. Like we're going to talk about Jedi Survivor later in the show, but like multiple reviewers were saying like, yeah, it's not in a great place, but if it gets fixed by the day one patch, then this game is fantastic. And it did not get fixed by the day one patch.
No, it did
so and that happened all the time. I remember I ran into that. I remember I had the Master Chief Collection like a month early, right? Almost. And I was trying to get online matches, was not working. And then 343's PR team sends out an email. Microsoft's PR team says like, well, try playing between these times with other reviewers and we'll see. Didn't work. So they had to set up private matches. Those worked fine. But I told Nick at the time, like, hey, I'm going to hold my review until like these patches are out. Patch comes out 2 weeks later, it's still broken, and I post, still broken, sorry, 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, and just because they are in the business side of this and access is important, they're going to push for that review to be out. Which is why Jedi Survivor right now, even though it's very fucking broken for a lot of people. Let's see where it's at. Jedi Survivor Metacritic. All right, sitting at a 78, which isn't amazing, but it also doesn't have a ton of reviews.
Well,
excuse me.
Yeah.
So that's the PC version is at a 78.
Yes.
Most
no, the
people
console
reviewed it
versions are probably fine. So.
Which I've also heard those versions are not great and kind of fucked up.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get to this Kotaku article here. Not article. We're not looking at the article.
But story. Yeah, so the thing about this is a couple years back when Metroid Dread came out, they posted a thing saying, hey, hate to break this to you, but you can play this in 4K on an emulator right now. And that obviously pissed Nintendo off and got them blacklisted.
Yeah.
By Nintendo, which here's the thing. When you post an article like that, you should know that Nintendo is going to be like, hey, fuck you.
Yep.
You should know, and you should accept that risk.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been of the opinion that if your content requires access, your content is bad. Like if you require access for your website, stream, whatever it is, to be relevant, your content is bad. So yeah, that's lordy. So to go out and complain about it after you fucked up that you're blacklisted, I would argue that is unprofessional and coercive.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like, the thing is, I don't know if this is the person who wrote that Metroid Dread stuff or not. Could have been a different writer. But if it was, then you say, damn, what's going on at Kotaku? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Well,
let me check the writer. Hold on.
One moment, please.
If it's the same writer, holy shit. That's this suddenly becomes like a level worse.
Yeah, this is, oh man, you really are tone deaf, huh?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, I don't know about tone deaf. I just unprofessional and coercive.
Yes.
Like.
No, different guy.
All right.
But
well, then it doesn't speak well if this writer was not aware of that prior chapter.
Right, but you should know why you're blacklisted.
Yes.
Like so that still makes him look like a jackass, regardless.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, people hated Kotaku anyway. And so to do this, and my cynical brain is like, this will just generate people coming into the site, looking at ads, clicking on stuff. That's the only thing I can think of for this.
It totally will, like 100%. And then Kotaku is the definition of like, let's just pump out as much shit as possible. We don't even care if it's good, because, like, hey, it pays for the ads, the ads. They'll see more ads if they see more shit,
right?
Yep. So.
But again, I don't think Kotaku is alone in that. And I do think Kotaku has suffered in some places unfair criticism because they covered something that could be seen by gamers as political. But what does not help when you have years of evidence of being fucking shitty, being clickbaity, and working this algorithm to gross degrees.
Yeah, like they have an article right now. People aren't buying McDonald's fries because the economy sucks.
That doesn't make sense.
What the?
That's literally on the front page of Kotaku right now. Scroll down a little bit.
Nothing to do with anything.
And then the 10 worst Simpsons episodes ever. These expensive headphones come with controversial waifus. So.
They're nice headphones, though. That's the. I may or may not have a pair of waifu headphones.
Yes, but which waifu?
They sound good. They sound good.
I don't. That none of these statements surprise me. So. Yeah, like you can't. But like, and this guy's a senior editor, so he's obviously been around Kotaku for a while, so he probably knows why. And yeah, this is just shitty. This is super shitty.
Yeah, if you put out things saying like, "Hey, here's a way to emulate this game that just came out," like, own it. You know, at the very least, don't pull this.
Mm-hmm.
That said, they're still alive when doing this, and Waypoint is dead.
Yeah, because
the clickbait.
Because the clickbait.
Clickbait sells.
Comment in the chat. Goodness gracious! It goes back to that thing that just because something is successful does not mean it's quality.
Right.
Yep.
Well, especially
You know.
in this, this day and age of games writing. Like, again, AI is coming for it all at this point because that's just all it. There's no soul in this.
Yeah, no, like this kind of shit, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Like just give it a couple of prompts, it'll scoot it out, clean it up a bit, and yeah, like,
Story about Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom that is controversial.
Yep.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what we can't write about when everybody else can is the new Zelda game. Let's write something about that.
I think Luke Plunkett works there still. I think he's good.
That poor guy.
Yeah.
That poor guy. He is good. Luke is probably the only person on Kotaku I will read, but even his articles anymore are getting like really clickbaity.
He's got to write for Kotaku, right?
He does, yeah.
And there are other writers that I've enjoyed at Kotaku who have since left.
Of
Course, people, blame them for all of Kotaku's shittiness. And guess what? Kotaku's shittiness is still here. It's almost like it's the business model that Kotaku is beholden to stay alive while other gaming websites are dying.
Yep. Because they understand they understand what it takes to make the money, and that is not a quality product. That is clickbait, and you need to see more fucking ads.
Yeah.
And we need to get as much shit out on a daily basis as humanly fucking possible. I remember before the Gamer Access shut down, we were running so many fucking ads.
Mm-hmm.
So many fucking ads, dude. And that was literally just to pay for servers and the occasional like copy of a game. I can't imagine the scale that like when you're like fully paying writers and shit. So yeah,
must be great being an ad company in this day and age, And
that you're right.
Yes, I feel like we're eventually going to hit a tipping point here. I don't know when, but like when all of the internet is just this, like, I don't know.
And then, on top of that, I'm actually looking at those really good articles I talked about on GameSpot, right?
Yeah.
And like most of them are done by freelancers.
They always are, right? Freelancers who are paid way too poorly.
Yeah, like I because I thought about that. Like I thought, like, oh, I can go be a freelance writer, like full time. That's fine. And then like you get an offer, and I remember when I did that like one set of videos with Ray for Destructoid. I think we were paid like $100 per video script.
Man, really?
Yeah.
God damn. And like, yeah, that's another thing where it's like no health insurance, no benefits, here's a chunk of money. Fuck off.
Here's $100 for it to 2 nights to write.
Yeah.
Like that and that was like people with like a real budget.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, it's so sad.
Yep.
So and yeah, it's not great.
I hope the energy comes from people enough to be like, we want things to be different, because the previous story and this Kotaku story put together is just like, it's just a content machine that is meant to churn out minutes of our lives to generating these few companies' income. That's all the internet is anymore. All of these bad controversial takes are mostly artificial because it's about getting money. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
So I don't know. I feel like we're reaching critical mass on that, but I don't know.
I don't think we are, because people keep buying into it and whatnot. Like, I think some people are.
Well, I think they still are, but like there are fewer and fewer and fewer ways to avoid it. Yeah.
So.
Oh, depressing. But that's the state of things right now. We chose
a great career, man. We really did.
Man, in that
We really
summer
did,
of
folks.
08, we were just like, let's write about video games. What could go wrong?
This.
Very much this.
Yeah.
All
Learn how
right,
to churn
well.
out videos.
God, I was reading an article. It's like the AI is coming for all the white collar work. And it's like true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just give it enough time, and it will happen.
Blackcatter says career or hobby. I mean, it's a hobby now, but we were gunning for it, early on. It was like it was like a hobby, first year or two, but we were trying real hard, and then things started picking up.
And then like I said, I went to E3. I covered events and shit. Like, that was it was an awesome time.
That brief moment.
Yep. Well, now that sad news is over.
Uh-huh.
Hey, the launch of Jedi Survivor is fucked on all platforms, but especially PC.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, rough.
Yep. Digital Foundry did a very lengthy full video on this. And they're like, the PC version of this is completely borked. The console version has frame rate dips. There are problems all over the place. So.
And it makes people are commenting on Twitter, as much as it sucks, it makes the most sense on PC because everyone's PC's different, and you got to try and make it work for all of them. But
but like this is having issues with like the highest of highest end PCs.
Well, and so Digital Foundry, for example, can't even do performance testing on this because as soon as you put in more than 3 graphics cards to test the thing out, it tells you that you've installed this on too many computers and you can't play it anymore.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the Denuvo is so strong on it that if you are swapping out computer parts, it will tell you that you have installed the game on too many computers.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the fact that like even on a 4090 with the newest i9, it still has frame rate dips and chugging and issues with ray tracing on or off. And this is just another one in a long line of PC releases that suck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, to be fair, it is better on the console, but it still has issues. I've heard frame rate drips, I've heard glitching, I've heard lagging when going into new areas. Your mileage may vary. I've heard the Xbox version is the best running version.
I can confirm this.
Okay.
Yeah. So. And like, let's look at the list. This is just this year's broken PC release at launch: Forspoken, Wild Hearts, Hogwarts Legacy, Wo Long, Last of Us, and now Jedi Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, RE4 is the only major. RE4 and Dead Space are the only 2 games this year that had day and date on PC that weren't just totally fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, they issued a statement about this saying, "We are aware that Jedi Survivor isn't performing to our standard for a percentage of our PC players, in particular those with high-end machines or certain specific configurations. For example, players using cutting-edge multi-threaded chipsets designed for Windows 11 were encountering problems on Windows 10, or high-end GPUs coupled with lower-performing CPUs saw unexpected frame loss. Rest assured, we are working to address this case quickly. While there is no single comprehensive solution for PC performance, the team has been working on fixes we believe will improve the performance across a spectrum of configurations. We are committed to fixing these issues as soon as possible, but each patch requires significant testing to ensure we don't introduce new problems. Thanks for understanding, and apologies to any of our players experiencing these issues. We will continue to monitor performance across all platforms and share update timing as soon as it is available. The Star Wars Jedi team."
Oh, a percentage of our PC players.
Percentage.
Like all of them.
Almost all.
Is that percentage 99%? I don't.
Yeah, is that anyone who's playing on PC? And the really annoying part is this was the same problem on the last one, but worse. Like Fallen Order also had big PC issues. I was on a machine that was way above spec when it came out, and I was still getting big frame rate dips, lag, all kinds of issues, crashes. And that one, and here we are 4 years later almost. It's even worse. But ton of people still bought it at launch. I assume it's one of the best selling games on Steam right now. I'm willing to bet.
It is. It's number one.
Yep, there you go. And this is what's going to happen. They'll get it up to speed in about a year, within the year. They'll do an apology tour. They'll cut the price and put it out with all the DLC. Maybe the people who bought it early will get a couple freebies. And the cycle will repeat with Fallen Order 3 or whatever the hell it's going to be called.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It will never end.
Yep. So, there you go.
But people keep buying and pre-ordering this shit. Like,
don't pre-order video games like 99.9% of the time.
Like if you're getting like a collector's edition or a limited edition or whatever, I can understand it. But like if you're just getting the base edition, why?
Right, exactly. Like there are some exceptions. I feel like there are some publishers that are like, Capcom. Their shit typically doesn't launch fuck, so I had no problem pre-ordering RE4. I thought that Dead Space remake was gonna be trash. I waited for the reviews. I bought it a week later. It's great. Nintendo is another one. Their stuff typically launches pretty polished. Sony, but like EA, especially the last several games, like nah, son.
If you're getting shit like this or these, like I can understand it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if you're gonna buy digital, why would you pre-order?
Yeah, no, I don't get it. Like no pre-order bonus is worth it. No pre-order bonus is worth it at all. But here we are.
It doesn't help that, that first Star Wars Jedi game also launched kind of messed up and then recovered.
Yeah. And that game sold in the millions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sold tons and tons of copies and did really well. So here we are. Once again,
yep.
So
yay!
And this goes back to something that a lot of people have said: never buy a AAA PC game at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do it. It's gonna be fucked.
Wait about a year.
Yeah, and or like even a week if you find out it isn't completely fucked. But it keeps happening. So what? Like, oh well, they'll buy it if it's broken. Fuck it, we don't care. It happens every fucking time.
Yeah. That's how I'm getting Street Fighter 6 day one, unless something really bad happens.
Well, yes.
That's sad.
Capcom has a pretty good track record, I think.
Yes,
yeah, that's what Bronson was saying.
Yeah, and then like. I wanted into Diablo beta, so I was like, fuck, I'll pre-order Diablo. But like generally, like I didn't pre-order Hogwarts Legacy, I didn't pre-order Last of Us, I didn't pre-order Wo Long. Redfall, I'm getting through Game Pass, and I wouldn't have pre-ordered it if I wasn't. So, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So.
All right. PC gaming for the AAA space anyway. Not looking great right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. To play, but indie games are doing awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
It was also review bombed. It has a 1.8 on the PC right now.
I don't know that I would call it review bombing when you have legitimate complaints.
When I think review bomb, I think of like assholes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair point. All right. Well, next up is the developer, Respawn Entertainment. Their CEO says, I'd love to see a Titanfall 3, but it won't be happening anytime soon.
We know. You didn't have to say it.
Yeah, we're all fully aware.
Come on. Are you kidding me?
Lordy.
Just
You know,
don't
I was
say
in-
bad things that everyone already knows.
it was with an interview with Baron. He addressed he asked about third entry. Van Vel says the studio's not working on anything currently, but he'd love to see it happen. The CEO added there are no dedicated plans for a new entry, though.
That poor guy's going to be asked about that question so much.
Yep. And he went on to say, Titanfall remains so beloved, it could only return at the right time with the right idea. Anything less wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah. Titanfall's pretty cool.
It was such a beautiful game. A wonderful game.
Yep. I'd like to see more of that in my video games, but doesn't look like it's going to happen in the AAA space.
Nope. And then to make a game like Titanfall, you need money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, next news story, and when I read this, it was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Microsoft Activision deal prevented to protect innovation and choice in cloud gaming.
Oh.
What a weird take.
The CMA has prevented Microsoft's proposed purchase of Activision over the concerns the deal would alter the future of the fast-growing cloud gaming market, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. Yeah, so, and they brought up that the cloud gaming market is growing fast. Monthly active users in the UK more than tripled from the start of 2021 to the end of 2022, and it'll probably be worth up to 11 billion euros by 2026. So Microsoft has responded to this by saying they'll start putting their stuff on other cloud gaming platforms for a 10-year period. So, of all the things to block it, right?
So they said in the UK that cloud players tripled. What was the number? Do we know?
The article doesn't say.
Okay.
Went from like 1 to 3.
Oh, right. Like, I'm sorry. Unless like the UK really figured out their internet situation because they're a little bit more close together than the USA is. Unless they figured that out, like, this is the weirdest, because like I just have not seen any push for cloud gaming anywhere. I've not seen people like really being into cloud gaming at all.
No, but we also live in America. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
and we, it's that Japan thing all over again with fighting games, where it's like, well, it doesn't matter to them because it's practically instant, but for us, it's an issue. Adding on to this, they do drive a good point that Microsoft already accounts for an estimated 60 to 70% of cloud gaming services, and has other important strengths in cloud gaming, from owning Xbox, the PC operating system, and a global cloud computing infrastructure, Azure, and Xbox Cloud Gaming. And the CMA says it would reinforce their market advantage, giving them control over important IP, such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. The cloud allows UK gamers to avoid buying expensive gaming consoles and PCs, giving them more flexibility. That's it.
Yeah, this whole drama has been absolutely ridiculous from nearly all parties this entire time. Fucking Bobby Kotick coming out here trying to fight for the deal and making everyone look worse. The man still not learned the lesson to just shut up.
They just need to, like, it already, like, we already know that this deal is going to happen. It's a matter of, when is it going to happen?
When is it going to happen, and what may get carved out of that deal?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're going to own Call of Duty, and it's going to be on Game Pass. Like, at least that's my hot take.
No, for sure. I don't think it's a hot take.
I don't think, like, the fact that they're coming after cloud gaming before they come for Call of Duty, like, it just strikes me. And then, like, the U.S. Congress's take is like, this Japanese company is running it's a monopoly over our American company. We're gonna and like these people are just clueless. Anyone in
And
the
they're also
position of power just clueless.
and also the ones in the U.S. government also, weird. Microsoft donated to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the same people though that ask if you're on TikTok, if that's on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I don't
exactly.
know.
No.
Yeah.
I think this goes through just because for the main thing that like people are concerned about with this, like people in positions of power don't care. They have no idea.
The real funny part to me is Microsoft even says the biggest thing we want out of this is the mobile stuff like Candy Crush.
Candy Crush is like what, half of them? Or no, mobile is half of what Activision gets.
Yeah. So
but like no, if it was just Candy Crush and like mobile stuff, if that's all this deal was, like there would be no controversy. There would not be this fight. PlayStation would not be mad.
Yeah, no, but but COD is such a big fish, especially because like imagine in 2 years. Oh hey, you can either buy a PS5 and pay $70 a year for COD, or you can just have Game Pass along with getting a million other games.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, and just for some perspective, Candy Crush in 2022 brought in $600 million. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in the first 3 days of release brought in 800 million. 1 billion within 10 days. We've talked about it before, but it's the best-selling game of last year.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is significantly more expensive to make, but yes. No, it's the thing is though is like I think Microsoft would fuck up managing those studios at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other funny thing about this is like I don't know if you've been watching at least the last few years, if not like since 2013, but like okay, so the worst thing that's gonna happen is we're not gonna see a Call of Duty ever again. Okay, whatever.
Fuck.
You know,
Lordy.
Yeah. I as far as like PlayStation fanboys like trying to fight for PlayStation, I don't think this is going to do too much.
No, I don't think like, oh man, they've committed to putting Call of Duty on Switch for 10 years. That's cool, I guess.
Right.
You know, like, and that's it. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like Call of Duty. It's all right.
I love Call of Duty's fun. Call of Duty's a good time.
Yeah.
That last game was good.
Absolutely. Yeah, the last game was awesome. I was playing it last night. So funnily enough.
I saw on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks great. So yeah, I don't know. It's and then on top of that, Microsoft has so like it almost feels like they need this deal just to be competitive. Is the fucked up part about it.
That's what's fucked up. Yeah, that's what really is so funny and ridiculous about this is Microsoft is this giant company, and yet here we are.
Yeah, because they're mismanaged. Like I remember David Jaffe saying, like, look, the lady that used to handle the PS like 1 through 3 and part of 4's portfolio is available. They need to go back up a dump trunk of money at her house. And just say, look, you have complete control over getting these games out. We can't do it for whatever reason. Especially considering their gaming revenue dropped 4% year on year, where hardware revenue went down 30 fucking %.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I mean, the hardware revenue bit we expected, right? Game Pass.
Right.
Well, yes and no, because like that means like their consoles are really not selling year on year.
Yeah.
Like they went from, you know, like, and I know the console isn't their big idea, but like still you need some of those out there to support Game Pass. And man, 30%. That's a big fucking number, dude.
It is.
Like that is like almost a third of your hardware business when just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh.
You got. They were able to start putting out their consoles more a lot sooner than PlayStation was.
But they're also selling way less than PlayStation. You know, like they have God, what was it? There are a total of 21 million Series X/S sold because they grouped them together, and then they have a total of over 35 million PS5s.
Microsoft should put out some games.
They should, you know, like because like I bought my Xbox and I love it, but you know, I mean I bought two of those fuckers because I have a Series S in the living room,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for like TV stuff, but. Yeah, like they're just fucked right now, you know.
And until they get some games out, it's gonna continue to be that way.
Like if this year goes well for them, as in like Starfield is great, which I don't have faith in. Redfall is great. Forza is great, and they continue putting out great indies because that's what they've consistently done. I think they'll be okay. But if they have another year like last year, where it's like, what's your best games? As Dusk Falls and Pentiment, dude, they're just cooked. It's another Xbox One, just not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's pretty much what it feels like.
Yep.
So it's like, do I think do I think the deal with Activision might help them? I think it'll help them if they just leave Activision alone and say, here, you keep all your people, you do your thing. We just wanted your IP to be exclusive or whatever, you know, whatever their deal is.
Mm-hmm.
So
they've got some shit to figure out, and until I can't wait to hear about what was going on in this company these last few years.
I mean, yeah, because like, yeah, I would love to hear it. I cannot wait until like 10, 20 years down the road when Phil Spencer's retired and like you get the tell-all story of like, okay, look, like, yeah, because it just looks bad, and Microsoft corporate is apparently super pissed off, which they should be because they spent, you know, what was it, $7 billion on Bethesda or something like that, and then they threw another like other billions of dollars on all those other studios, and they're obviously making money because they get all the money from all the old stuff that those companies made, but you know they bought these to be a difference maker, and like Ninja Theory still hasn't put out Hellblade 2 yet, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Initiative, Development Hell for Perfect Dark, Playground Games. They put out Forza Horizon 5 2 years ago, and Fable is still being worked on.
Yep.
Still. Obsidian actually has been putting out games. They put out Outer Worlds. They put out Pentiment. They're working on Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed. Like they have stuff out, and they put out Grounded. So like they have stuff at least. That purchase actually is looking worth it. But yeah, like just, you know, or because of the way those deals went, the first 2 games Arcane put out ended up not being on their console at first, with Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
So, oof.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do at this point, because all the obvious answers have been out there for a while now.
Put out fucking video games that are high profile and good.
Mm-hmm.
Not just,
all you gotta do.
You know, like the indie stuff is great. I do not want to rag on Pentiment. It's a great game. I do not want to rag on As Dusk Falls and a bunch of other stuff they've put out. But at the end of the day, you need system sellers. So, Oh,
Well, good luck to
one
them.
week. Yep. Yep.
Nonsense.
All right. Dear
I
God.
just looked at the next story. God damn it! Just everyone.
a good one.
And yeah, and to put a little icing on the cake, everybody. PlayStation 5 just had the best quarter ever for any game console ever. Oh my fucking God. Oh wait, sorry, wrong. I forgot to link that one, but
No, you did.
yeah.
It's just this one was first.
Oh, what? Okay, my apologies.
But I think it
Yeah.
transitions well from the last story.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
But they're doing well.
yeah, they have they just had the best. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
It did 6.3 million units the last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself is insane. And it is now the most successful one of these ever. Like that, just no shot. So, that whole oh no, we can't make a shooter. Kind of not looking correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just little extra there. Like oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and another news story was Sony and Activision both have a bunch of data indicating, hey, surprise, surprise, $70 price tag may impact unit sales.
Yeah.
Weird.
Gamers are generally buying less games than ever before. Software revenues were at an all-time high for digital and physical hard software. But it's still not as many copies as was sold before. So, yep.
Yeah, as prices are going up for everything unnecessarily outside of video games, they have waited until this very moment to start pushing the price up on these larger games, and then they will add microtransactions and DLC ready to go day one for you to buy, along with their collector's editions and all that fun stuff.
Well, this goes back to a conversation I had not that long ago, where it's like, just let's take a look here. We have back in the day, around 2004, you could get 2 complete, no microtransactions, very little bugs, several other things, for $110 after tax where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get 2 games for that now with microtransactions and probably buggy if you get it at launch is in the ballpark of $150+.
Yeah.
That is a $40 increase. And just, dude, like, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know how, like, what were they thinking? Like, oh man, people are going to totally pay this $10 extra when everything is impacted in a bad way right now. And oh yeah, let's throw on top of that the fact that video games are a luxury, not a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying less games than I would have just because of it. I can confirm that. Like, I probably would have bought Hogwarts Legacy if it was not $70. I probably would have bought Jedi Survivor maybe if it was $50-$60.
Yeah,
But,
that said, I wonder if they hold on to the $70 price tag long enough, people just get desensitized to it and just accept it as the new game price, and I don't think they'll ever fully recover. I mean, they may.
Oh no, I think what's going to happen more and more is kind of what was going on in the Super Nintendo era of like different games will be just priced differently. Like your biggest of the big, your Diablos, your Call of Duties, your Maddens, those are now 70. Your really big are going to be like 60, like Street Fighter, and then your niche stuff will be 40 to 50, and then indie games will be 20 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's we're not going to get that standardized pricing anymore. That's not going to happen. Yeah, you know, that's basically it for that. You know, are you guys buying less games now that they're $75 fucking after tax? I know I am.
For a number of reasons, but yeah, $70 not. Nope, not thrilled.
No, it's horrible. It's oh god. You know, I'm glad I didn't pay $70 for Zelda because I, you know, used their voucher, so it ends up being $50. But you know, not every publisher offers that, and it's only for Nintendo first-party games, and you have to be an online subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then, God, what else do we have? Yeah, this year I will have bought by the end of the year, I will have bought 3 or 4 $70 games.
Sure.
That's Diablo. I think Dead Space was 70, Final Fantasy, and Spider-Man. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I think the general public, like always, will just be like, "Oh, this is just the price of games now." Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Good.
And there will be talk online of like, you know, they've been holding off on pushing this for a while, and that'll probably desensitize some people, the few people who are reading that kind of news anymore.
Yeah, but like, man, and like the argument was like, well, you know, how are the developers and publishers going to get paid? It's just like they already are making way more money than they were in the past because microtransactions, collector's editions that are bigger and more expensive than ever, so on and so forth.
Yep.
Well, the devs have already gotten their money. Like they get paid. They're not doing the work for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But you know what I mean. The publisher, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's play indie games. How about that?
Yeah. No, that's, you know, it sucks. A lot of the stuff I like is AAA. Like I'm over the moon for Zelda. I'm super excited for Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I am taking the day off to play Zelda and Diablo. And then because I like those bigger projects with that big scope, unfortunately. You know?
Yeah, I get you.
You know,
it is.
Yeah. I'm hoping that an indie game clicks with me this year. I know I loaded up Stardew Valley again recently.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Good game.
All right. Well, next news story that I forgot to put stuff in with it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Is Diablo 4 is going to allow you to skip the campaign once you beat it once.
Thank God.
Thank you.
It's the worst part of any ARPG is every season having to run through the freaking campaign over and over and over.
Well, your wish has been granted. No longer have to do it.
Just have to beat through it. And
yeah, they're making a lot of good. They're making a lot of good decisions with Diablo 4. I'm wondering when they're gonna fuck it up.
Waiting for that other shoe to drop, Bronson.
Pretty much.
Always another shoe.
Yep. So, and then the last news story we have is, hey guys, guess what? Twisted Metal.
Hey, isn't this interesting?
It actually, okay, so I know it's just a teaser, but it actually did look pretty good.
It did look good when I saw it. I was just like, okay. Let's go. Too bad I don't have Peacock.
Yeah.
My friend has Peacock because she likes watching The Office.
Yeah,
So
fair point.
I will be able to watch it.
I have
I'll let you
other
know how it
ways
is.
to watch this.
Yar.
But interesting. So they got the new Captain America here. Falcon.
Got my boy.
Anthony Mackie.
Wait. Oh, okay. All right. I was like, what? This isn't Twisted Metal, but all right. Okay. There's cars and guns. There's the clown truck.
Yep.
All right. That's good.
Yep.
Oh, cool. All right. Let's get all these.
So this must be before he becomes a full-on like demon.
Yes. Yes. Well, you know, you
In
gotta,
a Twisted Metal canon.
I was gonna say they gotta set up the Twisted Metal multiverse.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
go.
yeah.
If we can get a PlayStation All Stars TV show.
Oh no. God.
Oh boy.
How about we get another one of those, but done correctly? That'd be cool.
That would be nice too.
That would be good.
I think I've told this on the podcast before. You want to hear a weird thing with me in that game?
Sure.
I have competed in an official Sony tournament for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, so they did this thing like PlayStation Campus Tour or something like that. And they had a tournament, and I competed in it. And then on top of that, they God. And then on top of that, I have the Platinum Trophy, but not on the PlayStation 3 version, on the Vita version.
Huh.
Nice.
I don't
Well
know I don't know why playing that game on Vita was so just perfect to me, but it was. So I wish PlayStation would bring those campus tours back. They were fun.
Yeah.
They were a lot of fun. They were cool, and they gave away free Vita games. I got a copy of Ninja Gaiden 2 on my Vita for that. There was one.
Nice.
Either way,
Damn.
it's nice to get a free game just for being like, hey, I'm up at this university occasionally.
Right. Yep.
All right.
I live by a campus here, so
Yeah. Are we gonna watch that Twisted Metal show? Does anyone here besides me?
I'll watch the first episode probably.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I'm not all that interested, but you know what? I wish the best for them.
I think you could do some really interesting like apocalypse stuff with Twisted Metal.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. All right, everybody. That was our last news story. So how about a quick break, and we'll get back to doing our thing.
All right. Yep. Quick break. We'll be right back. Talk to you in a bit. And we're back.
We're back.
Oh my goodness. That was a hell of a lot of news.
It was, and a lot of it was super happy, and everyone loved it.
Everyone was happy with it.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm excited going into this week.
Okay.
Bring on the good news.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Every week it just gets darker and darker.
We're in the best timeline.
Best timeline.
Yeah. Imagine what the other timelines are like.
oh god, the
Yeah.
horror.
Harambe died for this.
I'm reminded of that Rick and Morty joke where like Rick keeps going to alternate universes and like he keeps finding ones where the Nazis won, and then he finds like a universe of wasp men, and he's just like Sims is like, hail wasp Hitler. And then it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? So,
Damn it.
So
all right. Hey, did we play video games this week?
Emily sure as hell did.
What's going on,
Just
Emily?
shocking. Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, there was some controversy with that. How is it? Is it better than the first one? What's different?
I am finding it a lot better than the first one. I mean, you customize more of the lightsaber instead of like 2 or 3 pieces. You customize all 6
Okay.
Damn.
pieces because of the two emitters, the 2 pieces next to it, and then the 2 right there in the middle. You can customize BD1,
Ooh.
which is really cool. You can
the first one. I know it was
not
fairly
really.
Not this much, yeah.
Not as much as now. Like you can customize his like all parts of his head. You can customize his legs. Just everything about BD1 you can customize. You can also customize your appearance, which you never really did in Fallen Order. So like you can customize his hair, you can keep the stubble or go completely clean, customize his outfit, whole 9.
Ooh. All right.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, like that alone is like fantastic. Let's see. I'm on the 2nd planet right now. I'm just about finishing up with it, actually.
Okay. How's the combat? Is it still the same? Better? Is it Dark Souls light still?
It is still Dark Souls-esque. It is still the same combat as Fallen Order, but it's still fun. Like, I'm still having a good time with it. And I actually took a few photos of the skill tree, because the skill tree is a lot different this time around.
How so?
Because it's not one big map like it was in Fallen Order. It's separate.
Oh, so it's like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, it's visually it looks amazing, especially on Xbox. So
That was
it is worthy of.
That shelter was sick.
How is the Series S version running? Because like we all know the Series S is like a lower end machine in comparison.
It's running fine.
Huh. Okay.
Like I'm having little to no issue right now.
All right.
Other than the fact that I have never really played on an Xbox, so it's more user error than machine error.
Sure, fair.
Well,
Fair.
you know what I'm noticing is not here though.
What?
Is the poncho.
Yeah.
They got rid of that.
What?
Can you put it back? Can you?
I have not found anything to say that you can. I still need to look around the customization aspect of it just to make sure. I did pre-order, just to let you guys know I did pre-order. I didn't get the collector's edition like my brother did, so he's getting his lightsaber in the next couple days if he hasn't already. I got the deluxe edition, so I got some special skins for not only myself but for BD.
Okay.
So yeah, that was worth the $90 price tag.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
But yeah, that first level on Coruscant, though,
you'd recommend it?
I would definitely recommend this game.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Just because of that first, like, the first level is Coruscant. And it just visually is just so big, and it's just like, whoa. Like the movies, when they're on Coruscant, they don't do it justice.
Oh, fair enough.
All right.
I've stated I'm probably gonna pick this up around Black Friday. Is when I'm gonna be taking a look at this, because by then it'll be fixed for any of the problems I could run into, and it'll be a little cheaper and all that good stuff. But no, glad to hear it's glad to hear it is a worthy successor, and Respawn just made a good but buggy game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, you know, rewind. So.
Oh, cool.
Right on. You also played Ghostwire Tokyo. How was that? Are you still chugging along with it?
I am, and I didn't actually expect to enjoy Ghostwire as much as I have been.
Okay.
Because you saw me like going hard on that like a couple days ago.
Yeah,
I was like
outside
9
you
hours in already at that point.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm on chapter 3.
Okay.
And from what my buddy was telling me, because he's like, oh, you wouldn't like this game. It's like horror or whatever. I started playing it for like an hour. And then that hour went into 2 hours. And then it went into 4 hours. And then so on and so on. And I was just like, I'm actually enjoying this. It's like jump scare for me, more so than like full-fledged horror. But it's still cool. And I'm having a good time.
That Doom 3 effect. It's not actually scary. It's just monster closets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. That can be fun.
Yeah.
So next as far as news releases go is Ninja. What the hell is this Honkai Star Rail thing? Because I saw Asmund playing that, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
So it's a newest game from the folks that made Genshin Impact.
Okay.
That's right.
But this is a turn-based JRPG.
You've grown, Mark.
Instead,
good.
It is fucking great. I have not spent any money on this game yet, but believe you me, there are lots of opportunities too. The units that they give you like at the beginning of the game are still pretty strong. And I'm like, I don't know, 10 hours in, and I'm still using the free-to-play units.
Oh, so it's a free-to-play game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
With microtransactions, basically.
Yeah.
There's a whole gacha system to pull other units and other characters and stuff. Fights are like you can tell they're definitely anime inspired.
Oh yeah.
You said it's turn-based?
Yeah. So your characters have one ability, one skill, or a basic attack, one skill. They have an ability and like a talent, and then they have an ultimate. And like as you play or as you fight stuff, your ultimate meter fills up, and then you can use your ultimate meter to like interrupt the turn order and use your ultimate. There's not like an MP system. Instead, there's like a point system. So every time you land a basic attack, you get a point, and then you can spend points on skills. You can hold up to 5 points at a time. You start every fight with 3 points. There's like a knockdown or knockback system that's kind of similar to Megaten's press turn system. It doesn't give you an extra ability, or an extra turn, but it will like interrupt enemies with their like charging an attack or something, or make them take more damage. Each enemy has like specific. You can see like above the life bar. The red is the life bar. The white is like their shield meter. And then above that is what they're weak to. So if you use an attack that corresponds to what they're weak to, it depletes more of their shield meter, which then knocks them down, which then either interrupts them or allows you to do more abilities. And here, this character is using an ultimate.
And this is a live service game, is it not?
Yes.
And
yeah, I don't know how much content is in there right now, but I've played for like 10 hours and I'm still going.
Is there like a story, or is it like a? Okay. Yeah,
it's like a full-on JRPG. You are on the Star Rail, trying to. I haven't like paid too much attention, so I don't know what you're trying to find. But you're trying to find something, and you're on this train going through space. And anytime there's an anomaly on a planet that you come across, you stop at that planet to resolve whatever that anomaly is. The story is pretty good so far. The writing is pretty funny. Whenever you like interact with characters, you can do like and it doesn't tell you what the choices are, but the choices are like a hot-headed, like a more even-toned choice, and then there's always like a meme choice. And yeah, the meme choices are pretty funny.
Good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. It's the pity system in the game seems to be pretty good. You get guaranteed units when you're doing polls pretty often. Right now at the beginning of the game, I think you get 80 free polls just from playing through the game. The free to play aspect of it has so far not been like super
An
bad.
issue.
Some games by now like require you to pay to beat the wall, but I either haven't hit the wall or there is no paywall.
And is this on Windows or what's the
It's on Windows, it's on mobile, and eventually it's on Android, iOS, Windows, and eventually it's coming to PS4 and PS5.
Okay.
You can get it either on the Epic Store or you can get it standalone. Because it's turn-based, I've been playing a lot of it on my phone instead.
Okay.
There's no controller support yet for the phone, but it's a mobile game that's easy to control. If you played Genshin, you'll be familiar with the controls, but a lot of people that are coming from Genshin dislike this game because it's not an action game. Instead, it's a turn-based JRPG.
How do you download this? Because this file format, I've never seen it. I downloaded it on PC.
You get the Honkai. I've got to convert. Hold on, let me just download it.
Got to convert.
What's the file extension?
Hold on, I just deleted the expos. Hey, CR download file.
That's weird because I've got an exe when I download it.
Weird.
Jonathan, what side are you on?
Where'd you go?
I'm on the Hoyoverse.com on Kai Star Rail.
Here, go. If you go to that website and then just click the Windows button.
Okay. Yeah, that's literally the side I'm on.
That's so weird.
All right,
I've downloaded
this.
I've got it 4 times now, and it's all exes.
And I hit download now, and I click Windows. And yeah, unconfirmed. What?
Okay. Hoyoverse.
While everybody's doing this, I will say though, if you follow them on their socials, they'll give updates about certain things, like their departure festival that's going on until it doesn't say when, or until 6/7. They'll send out a gift of gratitude via in-game mail to those trailblazers who have reached trailblaze level. I want to say it's about less than or equal to 10.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
Oh, okay, so that's super dumb. So literally, I don't know why it didn't give me the right file extension, but I just changed the end of it to .exe, and it was like, oh, it's an application file. It works fine.
There we go.
That's so weird.
I got the exe as well, so I don't know what was happening over there.
I don't know. Good question.
They've also prepared a boarding party for those trailblazers. Can go and leave messages there to receive Pom Pom's boarding gift, which includes credit of 5,000, adventure log times 3, 2 condensed ethers, and 3 cosmic fried rice, as well as entering mysterious draw for a chance to win rich rewards such as stellar jades and express supply passes.
There's a lot of stuff going on for like the introduction in this game, and a lot of free stuff that they're throwing at people to try to get them to keep playing.
Yeah.
If this ends up being my gateway into Genshin, I'm gonna be so fucking mad at myself.
You're welcome.
Take a shot,
myself.
man. Take a shot.
See
what happens.
It's been fun. I think the best writing in the game, unfortunately, is in like all the side quests. So if you're looking for really good writing, do the side quests because they're hilarious.
I just can't wait for like all my friends in San Francisco who are super obsessed with Genshin are gonna see me playing this on Discord and be like, so
it's that picture of SpongeBob.
Genshin win.
You like Genshin, don't you, Squidward?
Yes, exactly.
It's like you asking Parker, Last of Us when?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Well, cool. This game looks interesting.
Yeah. It's a fun game.
All right.
Aaron, you hopped back into MMOs this week.
Yeah. Not much to really talk about. World of Warcraft, I jumped in, I got a couple levels.
What are you up to? Because I am back to WoW this week as of the new patch on Tuesday.
I'm like, I don't know, 33, I I think.
Okay, so you're about halfway to the new stuff. A
Yeah.
little over, actually.
A little over.
Okay.
I honestly have not been paying attention to anything that's going on and like the stories that they're trying to tell me. I'm just like, look, just give me the XP. Just hand it to me.
Let me tell you, because of the way it's structured, it's not gonna matter until you
What?
get to the Dragon Isles,
Oh,
basically.
Okay.
Like, unless you just want to enjoy that story for what it is, but like,
yeah.
They don't do the FF14 thing where they give you like a complete narrative with the expansion and then a new narrative in point 1, 2,
No.
3, and 4.
No, they do not.
They like it's all one narrative. So if you want to do the post game, you're just doing the post game because you like the story or the style, not it's part of what I have to do to finish the game.
Right. And really the reason I want to do this is like I want to play with you guys a little bit and see what that just take the way we briefly touched on some of that harder stuff in Final Fantasy 14. I want to get to the point where I could do that briefly for World of Warcraft just to say that I did it. And
fantastic. Our guild needs DPS and healers so fucking badly.
How does a MMO guild need DPS?
Yeah,
it's a weird problem that we have. I don't get it. I mean, it's true. Like, it's a weird problem that we just happen to have. Like, it's, like we really we have no problem fighting tanks. Like, we are overstuffed on tanks. And then healers were like, okay. Like, I'd say our healer situation is worse than our DPS situation. But yeah, so
Well, I it's more like I intend to do it just to get like a taste of it all. I don't think I'm going to be able to sustain 2 MMOs at once.
Oh, dude, yeah, like I have 2, but one of them is Guild Wars, which doesn't have like the same level of like, oh, here's new content, it invalidates old stuff, get caught up.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So yeah, it's, I mean, that's why I left Destiny. Like I
God, they're like the worst offenders, I feel like.
Yeah, no, they are the ultimate like time vampire, time sink as far as they go. Like Destiny expects you to be a Destiny player.
Yeah. Yes.
Like they do not fuck around with that for And like, to be fair, it's been successful for them. I know people who are like all about just that's their game. They play Destiny.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that for sure. I'm happy for those people. Yeah. I just can't.
Totally. I just like you said, I just don't have the willingness or the time or the
yeah. The only thing I'm really working towards there is finding a way to get to Pandaria to get a specific mount that I saw that I want to get. Like
which mount?
I don't know. It's like a disc. Like you're riding sideways on a disc. Get it in Pandaria after getting a certain reputation with.
Oh yeah.
A group.
Disc of the Ride. Okay, I have a similar mount that you get in Shadowlands.
Sure.
Who do you get this through?
I forget
the Lore Walkers. Yes. Oh yeah, have fun with that rep grind.
Yeah, no worries.
It is the Pandaria rep grinds are just more of a tool of you have to be patient than they are anything else. Because they're not hard, they're just kind of like do your dailies. Real long.
Yeah.
Upside is when Pandaria time walking comes around, you can buy reputation tokens just by farming dungeons.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, like that's like right now I could probably max out almost any rep I wanted in Pandaria because I have so much fucking time walking tokens. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's going on over there, and then I felt the call home. And so I started up Final Fantasy 14, and it's just nice to be there again. It feels good. Same way I know, Bronson, it feels good for you to be back in WoW. It feels so good for me to be back in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, man. When your home base MMO, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so I decided, you know what? I don't like doing hard content, but I can contribute by becoming a crafter that can like pentameld and things like that and make things for people. So
we're experiencing a lot of that in WoW recently. It's like we have a lot of people who just don't really give a shit about like the hard content, but like because the new crafting system is so in depth, and you don't even have to talk to people. You just go put it in order, and someone can go up and craft it for you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um,
It's a
now have that role.
it's a real good way to just chill. It's a good chill activity while you've got other stuff going on, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've started that process. I have since learned that really doing that process means I'm leveling a decent amount of crafting jobs all at once, because it will require materials that you either have to just pony up the money and buy each and every time you're making stuff, or you can take advantage of that and go to jump to another job and level that to get stuff for your other job. And it's like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, here we go. So it's gonna be a long process, and I'm going to start it up again the moment this podcast is over. But
Fair enough.
it's fun, it's chill, and it will be productive for people playing at that end game. So yeah, I'm into it. That's what I'm.
Yeah,
that's what
I
I'm gonna be
mean,
up to.
we saw the dude we played with like was crafting his mind out every week
so
for us.
much. Oh my god,
Yep.
and I'm so appreciative of what they did for me
Yeah.
specifically, because I just didn't have anything, and they're just like, yeah, I know, I got it.
Yep.
So working on that now. I haven't even like jumped. I haven't done the 5.3 story bit, and I'm just like, I want to get this stuff going here.
I got halfway through that when they did a free weekend, and then I just didn't have the time to finish it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna wait till
all right,
probably
well,
just before 5.4 story bit comes out, and then I'm just gonna jump in there. But yeah, other than that, like I downloaded the Street Fighter 6 demo. I haven't touched it yet. And then I also downloaded Ninja. You linked like a GB Studio port of a Zelda
Yeah.
Philips Zelda game.
Uh-huh.
I downloaded that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Ninja, what's the full story behind this thing?
So it's one of those old CDI games, the Nintendo.
the Zelda, like
Nintendo.
Wand of Gamelon, right?
Yeah, it will like it. Yeah. So
Philips
Zelda.
made 3 of those.
Nintendo had a deal with Philips to release 3 Zelda games on the Philips CDI. And so you've got Link, The Faces of Evil, which are 2 games, and then Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon. And these are some games that are forgotten to time, essentially. They came out in the 90s.
Fair.
They weren't great.
Nope.
If you take a look at the Wand of Gamelon, it looks absolutely terrible. And
Terrible.
I don't know that anybody in their right mind would look at it and want to play it and be like, yeah, that game looks good, because it doesn't. But somebody remade the game on the Game Boy ROM.
But it's not Wand of
Okay.
Gamelon, right? It's
No, it is. It's Wand of Gamelon, but remade as a Game Boy game.
oh
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can play through that game now on a Game Boy emulator, and it looks so much better than the CDI version does. There's a Twitter post from John Lay, who's one of the devs. He may be the dev, but one of the guys that worked on this, and he's got a side by side of what the game originally looked like and then what it looks like on the Game Boy port that he made.
Oh, interesting. John Lay.
Yeah, John Lay, and then underscore after Lay is his username.
Okay. I'm just going to throw on the screen for people. I just want to show you. This is the CDI game that was released in the 90s. Okay, I was wondering why I wasn't getting any audio here. But like, not a good-looking game, and the cutscenes are
No.
worse.
Yeah.
Fair.
You can
So
get
the first two games in this three game series were a lot like Zelda 2,
Mhm.
in that they're side-scrolling like action-y games, and then there's this third game. So it's Zelda's Adventure, not Wanda Gamble, but it's Zelda's Adventure. That is more of a top-down game.
All right.
God, I don't want to look at this any more than we have to. So
No, this is painful.
Ugh, this is hurting my eyes.
It's a gross looking thing. Ugh.
Look at those hands. Did you see those
Those
hands?
hands are fucked up. Ugh. Nintendo fucked up.
Yeah, they did. They did
They
not
fucked
do
up
well
real-
on this one.
Well, I mean, they didn't make this. This was all Philips. It's just that they had no control because the deal they made.
They made a bad deal.
They sure did.
Deal.
Ooh.
So,
All right. That's enough of that. I'm getting this off the screen. Good lord. That was it for me.
all right, and then all right. Well, yes, that's me. And then I did World of Warcraft. I found big shout out to Jay. I don't know if he listens to this, but thanks to him, I got the last 60 points I needed to be Keystone Master.
Nice.
So I have the title. I got the mount. I'm I'm all I'm feeling good about that. Other than that, I didn't play much WoW because I've been kind of trying to rest up for the upcoming week where the new Mythic season starts. And not only does the new Mythic season start, but we also have the new raid the week after, and my guild is in full force, wanting to be sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be on that. I've been doing DBFZ. It's been fun. It continues to be just a complete blast. Every now and then, though, I curse the world and want rollback now.
Yeah.
They are really dragging their feet on that, huh?
Yeah, wasn't the PC beta supposed to happen this spring?
If it was, they're running out of time.
Fair enough. And then I played a little Stardew Valley. That was fun. That was a good time. I'm kind of. I found that I need like a chill game before bed, so I've been kind of looking into Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing.
Oh, all right.
So there's that.
There's a new speaking of chill games that are indie. There's Sunhaven.
Yes, Stella has played 80 hours of that game in about a month.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Holy Jesus.
That is how she has spent almost every Sunday. So
if you want an RPG Stardew Valley game,
I've been thinking about it. She said what she told me, it was a less polished Stardew Valley. So yeah, like I definitely want to give it a look at some point. It's just that it's a little pricey for me right now for a game that I'm not sure if I'll enjoy. So there's that. What was that Metroidvania that you linked? 9 Shadows or something? That I put that on my wish list. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I played through that one. It was pretty short. The game is beautiful, but I think I finished it in like 8 hours.
Yeah, like I've been in the mood for Metroidvania, so that makes sense for me.
New Hollow Knight comes out pretty soon.
Oh yeah, that's happening. Jesus.
Man, I forgot all about that.
I want to do that as well. All right, well. Other than that, I'm dying for Sea of Stars when that's coming out. I eventually want to get to River City Girls too. Like, there's a lot of stuff I want.
There are a lot of games out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm now going to play Honkai Star Rail out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I like a good JRPG.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one.
Oh, I just hope that I don't come back here in 2 weeks. Like, so I started.
I spent $400.
That's actually probably the worst one. But no, it's just so I started playing Genshin Impact. Yeah. That's the real worst possible outcome from this is
A lot of people like that game.
I'm sure they do. I know that 2 of my very close friends are obsessed with it, and I refuse. Like their Discord channel has a section that is a voice chat channel, Genshin noises. Another like just a text Genshin channel. This fucking oh my god, it's madness. So yeah. All right, well, all that was really cool. Other than that, yeah, like I'm just kind of, I don't know. I might just hop into Stardew Valley or finally start Animal Crossing 3 years after I paid for it. I know.
Yeah,
I feel that. I 100% feel that.
Well, because like that's when we were like reviewing games still, and like I was like, oh, I'll review Doom. And I did, and yeah, that's basically it. Like I just never went back. So
yeah, no, I got it. Well,
right.
I hope you enjoy it.
I do too. All right,
you're outside of the craze portion, but there are some people still out here playing.
Yeah, no, my Stephanie, a good friend of mine, like, and she was super into it as of like last year,
Right. Yeah.
All right, well, guys, I think that's pretty much everything.
I think so. I think that's it. What's coming up this week? In terms of video games, do we know?
Redfall is out on tomorrow.
Tuesday.
Jesus. Okay.
I thought it was the first, but
well, you can
the first
preload.
of 5. It's the first of 5.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, then I really won't be able to play on Monday because I'll be on my way to D&D at that point.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But hey, Tuesday, we're gonna stream some Redfall. Methinks.
Yeah, that sounds good. Is everyone good for Tuesday?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I am.
Ninja?
We'll see what we can do.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday or Thursday, Redfall. We don't know which yet. So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We love you.
Be sure to join Discord, follow social media.
Yes. Use your Twitch subs.
Yeah.
Please. We want to be able to eat, okay? So much to ask.
Use those Amazon Prime subs.
Yes. All right. And we're gonna raid Cartbale. Everyone raid Cartbale. He's a nice Belgian, I think, boy. So.
Absolutely. All right. Let's go see what Cartbale's up to.
Yes. In 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1.